Hi, it's Chris with Avid Data. Welcome back. This is the second video that we're doing on labeling pipelines. And in this video, we're going to look at how you create and set user-defined labels. So to begin, let's log in and find a location. I've got a map saved here in my Manage Maps. And we'll just turn this one on. This is a location that we've been to before. This is the facility just north of Grand Prairie that we looked at when we looked at our default labels. On this map, I have also set my filters so only my operating pipelines are going to show. Let's start. User-defined labels are found underneath the map display, under the pipeline layer, and here underneath the Labels tab. Once you've opened up the tab, select on User-Defined Labels. Once you've selected the user-defined labels, you can now start to add different attributes or different information that you would like to be displayed on that particular label. I'm just going to select a few here. Once you've made your selection, you can collapse this window and then make your way over to the toolbar on the left-hand side of the screen. Underneath the Objects drop-down menu is where you'll find the Label tool. Once you've selected the Label tool, the Label Maker will appear. Now, the Label Maker is divided into 3 different sections. Along the top here, these are where the different functions live: add, delete, draw a leader. This is just drawing a line. In the middle here is where you can stylize your labels. So either selecting a different font size, perhaps you want that label to be bolded, and then putting a halo on essentially just gives the label a white background, so a little easier to read. The last section is this section right here where you can group or select your different pipelines, and we'll look at every iteration thereof. To begin, let's start by looking at a single high-pressure pipeline. Make sure your label tool is turned on, and then it's just a matter of selecting the pipeline that you want to label. A label icon will appear, and you can either hover above or below that pipeline to set the label. Here's another illustration. And it also works on these vertically oriented pipelines as well. Now, a little annoying with my flyover on, so I'm just going to turn that flyover, that little window that keeps popping up, and so on. To delete, simply select the delete function and then just shade across the labels you want to delete. Next, we'll look at a single pipeline with the label inline. And this is just a matter of selecting the pipeline, and you'll see the label falls inline. Kind of a nice look. Again, to delete, simply select the delete function and then scroll across the labels you want to delete. For grouping pipelines, select a group of pipelines. We'll just zoom in here a little bit. And let's select these 3 oil lines on the side here. Create the label. Draw a line of how you want the labels to be positioned. And then you can take that one step further and use our leader tool to simply draw those tools. You can always export that map as well by selecting on the Export the Map image. Now, you can also use user-defined labels for low-pressure pipelines. Let's find a location here just to the east of us that we can pick on a little bit here. Go back into the map display, into the pipeline layer, into the labels, and select on the user-defined labels in our low pressure pipelines. Select some or all of the attributes. And then just as we did, we'll select the pipeline. We'll draw the line of orientation, and the label will appear as such. And that is how you create and set user-defined labels in Abidata. Thanks a lot for your time today. Look forward to seeing you again. Bye for now.